Good morning everyone. In this today's video, right, so we will be going through the numericals that we have seen for the design of armature of a DC machine, right. So already we have gone through the procedure steps. Okay. So similarly, we'll be seeing through few of the problems in this video. A design is required for 50 kilowatt 4 pole 600 rpm DC shunt generator. Okay. The full load terminal voltage being 220 volt. If the maximum gap density is 0.83 Tesla and the armature ampere conductor per meter is 30,000, calculate the suitable dimensions for armature core to a given square pole face. Assume that the full load armature voltage drop is 3% of that of rated voltage terminal and the field current is 1% of the rated full load current and the ratio of pole arc to pole pitch is 0.67. Okay, so solution, right? So first we'll be finding out the output coefficient, right? So C naught, which is pi square by 60 into BAV into Q into 10 raised to minus 3, where BAV is the specific magnetic loading and Q is the specific electric loading. Okay, so when we substitute those values, okay, so 0.164 into 0.83 into 30,000 into 10 raised to minus 3, right? The value of output coefficient C naught is equal to 4.083, okay, approximated to 4.1. The back EMF at full load, okay, so E is equal to 220 plus 0.03 220 because of the 3%, okay, so it is 226.6 volt, okay. Full load current is equal to 50 into 1000 divided by 220 because it is the 50 kilowatt divided by the voltage, rated voltage, that is 220 volt, so which is 227.272 ampere. So field current is equal to 1% of that, that is 0.01 into 227.272, which is 2.272 ampere. So armature current is IF plus IL, so 227.2 plus 2.72, which is equal to 229.544 ampere, right? So power developed, that is E into IA into 10 raised to minus 3 kilowatt, so 226.6 into 229.5 into 10 raised to minus 3, right, so which is 52.0047 kilowatt, approximated to 52 kilowatt. Okay, then we have the equation, that is D square L, okay, which is equal to 1 by C naught into P by, that is PA by N. So 1 by 4.1 C naught we have found out, so the power developed we have taken 52 divided by 600, which is the speed in RPM, right? So when we solve this, we get it to be 0.0211 meter cube, that is D square L is equal to 0.0211 meter cube or approximated to 0.021 meter cube. Okay, so now we have L, okay, so L is equal to psi pi d by P, okay, where this phi is the ratio, okay, so right, so the ratio of pole arc to the pole pitch, which is given 0.67, okay, so into pi into d by 4 because number of pole is 4, okay, therefore the value that we get is the L is equal to 0.56262 d or 0.526 d, okay. So now using this relation, that is in this equation D square L we have, so L is equal to 0.526 d into d square, so it is 0.2526 d cube, which is equal to 0.021, that is what we have got, okay. So when we solve it, right, so we get D to be 0.3417 meter. Okay, so we are approximating it to 0.342 meter, and L, okay, which is 0.526 times the D, so 0.526 into 0.342, which is 0.1798 meter. Okay, so now L is approximated to 0.18 meter. So D is 0.342 meter and L, that is the length, is 0.18 meter. Next problem, calculate the diameter and the length of armature for a 7.5 kilowatt 4 pole 1000 rpm 220 volt shunt motor given. Full load efficiency is 0.83, maximum gap flux density is 0.9 Tesla, specific electric loading is 30,000 ampere conductor per meter, right? Then field form factor 0.7. Assume that the maximum efficiency occurs at full load and the field current is 2.5% of rated current. Okay, the pole face is square. The solution we have, right? So power input is, right, so it is 7.5 kilowatts, so 7500 divided by 0.83, the efficiency, so it is equal to 9036 watt. Okay, so total losses at full load, okay, is, right, the total, right, divide minus the rated, so that will be the losses. Okay, so total, right, so power input is 9361 minus the rated, that is 7500, which will give us 1536 watt. Okay, this is the losses at the full load. Okay, input minus the output will be losses. Since the maximum efficiency occurs at full load, okay, so the condition for in DC machine also for maximum efficiency is the losses, that is copper losses equal to the iron losses. That is what it is given here. So the I square R losses equal to armature I square R losses. Okay, so since they are same, so constant losses, okay, so we are dividing it since they are equal, right, so the value that we have got is being divided by 2, right, so we get 768.05 watt. Okay, next, motor current at full load is equal to 7500 divided by the voltage, that is 0.83 is the efficiency into 220. Okay, so we are getting it around 41.0738 ampere, approximated to 41.1 ampere. So next, field current, right, so it is said it is right, so 2.5%, right, so that's why it is 0.025 into 41.1, which is equal to 1.0275 ampere, approximated to 1.03 ampere. Okay, then field I square R losses is equal to 220 into 1.03. Okay, so, right, so it is 226.6 watt, approximated to 227 watt. Okay, so it is V into I that is being done here. Okay, therefore friction loss, windage loss, and then iron loss, right, so all those things. So the losses that remaining here is copper loss. So in the, right, so I have the copper loss. In total loss, if I subtract the copper loss, then I'll be getting these losses. That is what it is. Okay, so, right, so it is 768.05 the total loss, right, minus 227, that is the field copper losses. So it is 541.05 watt, or approximate to 541 watt. Okay, so power developed, okay, is the power developed is the output plus losses. Okay, so it is 7.5 kilowatt plus 0.541 kilowatt, so it is 8.041 kilowatt, that is the PA, that is the power developed, right, and then average gap flux density BF, that is the magnetic specific magnetic loading, right? So it is form factor into Bg, right? So we have form factor, it is 0.7, which is given, into 0.9. Okay, so it is 0.63 Tesla. So we have the output coefficient C naught. Okay, so 0.164 into BAV, specific magnetic loading, into specific electric loading, into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so 0.164 into 0.63 into 30,000 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so which is equal to 3.0996, approximated to 3.1. Then again same equation, d square L is equal to 1 by C naught PA by N. So 1 by 3.1 into 8.041 divided by the speed in RPM. So it is equal to 2.5938 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. Okay, so approximated to 2.6 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. Okay, therefore L is equal to, right, so psi, right, so psi here we are taking same as the KF. Okay, so form factor 0.7 pi d by P. Okay, 0.7 into pi d by 4. So when we solve it, we get L is equal to 0.45497, the d, approximated to 0.55 d, right? So this relation, that L is equal to 0.55 d, okay, is being made using this. Okay, that time we get 0.55 d cube is equal to 2.6 into 10 raised to minus 3, the value that is here. So from solving that, d will be equal to 0.1678 meter. Okay, sorry, 0.1678 meter, approximated to 0.17 meter. And then the L, okay, so L is equal to 0.55 into 0.17. Okay, that is a relation, 0.55 times the d. Okay, so we get L to be 0.0935 meter, okay, approximated to 0.094 meter. Okay, so it is 0.094 meter. D is 0.17 meter and the length is 0.094 meter. Determine the suitable values for external diameter of armature, core length, okay, then number of poles for a 1000 kilowatt 500 volt 350 rpm DC generator. Assume suitable values for electric and magnetic loading. Justify the values of diameter and the length of armature from the limiting values of peripheral speed and the voltage between the adjacent commutator segment respectively. Okay, so solution. So for 1000 kilowatt machine, right, so whatever given is magnetic loading, that is BAV 0.68 Tesla, and specific electric loading Q 41,000 ampere conductor per meter. Okay, so how we got this is by seeing the table that we have shown in the theory part. Okay, so for specific rating of the machine, right, so what should be the value? So for 1000 kilowatt machine, right, so we are getting these values, right? So therefore C naught is 0.164 BF into Q, that is specific magnetic loading, specific electric loading. So when we solve it, right, so we get it 4.57, right? So C23, so C naught approximate to 4.57. Okay, so next here the losses are not given, right? So when you have studied the theory, right, so we said that losses range between 5 to 8%. So we are assuming a 5% loss here, right? So PA is 0.05 into 1000 plus 1000, so which is equal to 1050 kilowatt, right? So from there again the basic equation, d square L is equal to 1 by C naught PA by N meter cube. Okay, so 4.57 C naught, then 1050 the PA, and the speed that is given 350 rpm. So when we solve this, so d square L is equal to 0.6564 meter cube, or d square L is approximated to 0.656 meter cube. right? So we can calculate when we go for calculation of the number of poles. Okay, so we should take care, right? So when we're seeing the factors affecting the selection of pole, one was the reversal frequency. So f was given Pn by 120, right? So by going for different values of P, right? So we get these values. Okay, so and these values, right? So we have said it should lie between 25 hertz to 50 hertz. Okay, and also taking the consideration of high number of what are the disadvantage that we have for high number of poles. Okay, so on that basis, right, so with these values, right, so P is equal to 10 is chosen. Okay, so that even the frequency is within the range that is being mentioned. Okay, fine. Next, 0.7 is assumed to be ratio between pole arc to pole pitch. Okay, that is the psi, right? So here L is equal to 0.7 into pi d by P, right? So right, so it is 0.7 into pi into d by 10. Okay, so L is equal to 0.2199 d. So L is approximately equal to 0.22 d. Okay, then we have from the basic equation d square L, the value that we had, so it is 0.656 meter cube. So here L is substituted with 0.22 d, so it is 0.22 d cube, right? So much, so the value that for d we get is 1.4393 meter, right? So approximated to 1.44 meter the value of the d. And from the relation that L is equal to 0.22 d, L is equal to 0.22 into 1.44 meter, it is 0.3168 meter, right? So approximated to 0.32 meter. Okay, so we then have to justify these values that they're given. Okay, so peripheral speed of the armature, right, so which is given by this equation, right? So it is V, and some book use it VA. Okay, so it is pi d n by 60, right? So pi into d n by 60, when we do this, right, so we get it to be 26.3893, right? So which is approximated 21 on higher side. Here it is 26.4 meter per second, right? So in general, if not mentioned, the value should be within 30 meter per second, so it is justified. Okay, next we have is voltage between the adjacent commutator segments. Okay, so that V is given by 2 BGL into V. Okay, so V is the speed, so it is 2 into 0.68 into 0.32 the length, okay, into 26.4 the speed, right? So for that, okay, so from that we get 11.4892 volt. Okay, that is the voltage between adjacent commutator segments, right? So if I approximate it to 11.5 volt, right? So this is also within limit. If not mentioned, that should be within 20 volt. Okay, so if they are mentioned, so in few numericals, right, or in few designs, these limiting values may be given, so we'll have to check with those given values. Okay, so next one, design a 4-pole 10 kilowatt 220 volt 1000 rpm DC shunt motor with respect to the following: output coefficient, the diameter and the length of the armature, number of armature conductors, number of slots. Okay, so assume the following to calculate the above design. Specific magnetic loading is 0.45 Tesla, specific electric loading is 17,500 ampere conductor per meter, and the ratio of gross axial length to pole pitch is 0.68. Okay, so with these given data, okay, so we have, right, so basic, the C naught pi square by 60 BAV into Q into 10 raised to minus 3, right? So pi square by 60 into 0.45 given, then 17,500, the specific electric loading is also given into 10 raised to minus 3, right? So from that we get C naught to be 1.292953, okay, approximated to 1.3. Okay, right? Then assuming 7% losses, right? So assuming 7% losses, PA is equal to 0.07 into 10 into 1000 plus 10,000. Okay, so which is 10.7 kilowatt. Okay, so then d square by L 1 by C naught into PA by N. Okay, so it is 1 by 1.3 into 10.7 divided by R speed in RPM. So it is 8.230 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. Okay, so and then we have the basic equation L is equal to psi pi d by P, where here psi is given, okay, the ratio, okay, so which is 0.68 into pi d by P. So P is 4. Okay, so when we substitute, we get L is equal to 0.534 D. Okay, so 0.543 D cube is equal to 8.23 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. So D cube is equal to 8.230 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 0.534. So final the D value that we get is 0.2488 meter, approximated to 0.25 meter. And then the length, right, so the relation we had was 0.34 into D, so 0.534 into 0.25, which is 0.1335 meter, right, so approximated to 0.134 meter. Okay, next to find out to find out the conductors, right, and the slots. So assuming wave winding, okay, so because of the size of the machine, so A is equal to 2 and 10% voltage drop in armature winding, right. So EB is 0.9 into 220, so it is 198 volt. So P5, right, so is B av into pi dl. Okay, so this is B av was, right, P5 by pi dl by the basic equation. So from that P5 is equal to B av into pi dl, so which is 0.45 into pi into 0.25 into 0.134. Okay, so P5 is 0.4735 Weber. Okay, so P5 is approximated to 0.047 Weber. So we have basic equation for EB, alright. So from that we will find out the value for Z. Okay, so which is EB into 60 into A divided by P5N. So EB 198, 60, and then the parallel paths 2 since it's wave, then 0.047, that is the P5 which is calculated, and the 1000 speed. So according to that we get 505.53, right, approximated to 506 conductors, right. Then we have assuming slot pitch, okay, so it is 0.22, right, centimeter, right. So usually it lies between 2 to 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so number of slots is equal to pi d by slot pitch. Okay, this is the standard equation that we have. So from that, number of slots is equal to pi into 0.25 divided by 2.2. Okay, so we get 35.69 approximated to 36, right. So conductor per slot 506 divided by 36. Okay, so we get around 14. Okay, 14.055. So since, right, so 14.005, so we'll be getting it 14, right. So with this few new, right, slots, conductor per slots, we'll find out the total conductors. So modified number of conductors 14 into 36, which is 504. Okay, so this is just going, right, we required was 506, right. So because of these calculations, okay, so right, so this part, right, so we cannot have conductors in fraction, right. So taking it to whole number, now there is, okay, so these are the number of conductors that we have. Okay, few more numericals we'll see in the next video, right. Have another 3 to 4 numericals, okay, so that we'll see in the next video. Thank you.